But sometimes there are members of the animal kingdom that are absolute shit. Existing subscribers will remember back in the winter when my garage was commandeered by squirrels who thought it'd be a great idea to turn the wooden beam.
Oh my god, that's actually so amazing. Squirrels? I love America. Today I'll be reacting to 4 ways American homes are an absolute nightmare, okay? But before I go into that, let me ask you for one thing. If you can leave a like, thank you so much, my friend. This is the best way to show support. If you can subscribe, well, in that case, forget about it. You make my day. Have that in consideration. Now, link for the original video in my description. I love Lawrence. Give him some love. That's it. Let's play it.
Hello, this video is sponsored by BritBox, the premier streaming service for Britain's most beloved TV shows. I'm Lawrence Brown and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond.
I know.
One of those memos pertains to houses.
Okay.
If you've spent any of the last 6 months watching this channel, you'll know that I used that time to talk about my first American house.
True.
And I know what you're thinking. Ooh, Lawrence, that's why TubeBuddy nominated you for Creator of the Year in the lifestyle category.
Oh, congrats, Lawrence.
Thinking, we get it, Lawrence. You're living the American dream. Isn't that great for you?
Honestly, that's
well, not
crazy.
always, because sometimes the American dream can be a nightmare. You see, while many are saying that this house is among the greatest in 3 counties, it does come with its fair share of challenges. Some of these challenges you'll have heard me talk about before and you're about to receive an update. And others I'm about to reveal to you for the very first time. Or if you've never seen a Lost in the Pond video before, all of these will be new. So if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, do that now.
Already did, my friend.
And so without further ado, here are 4 major challenges of living in your own American house.
What?
First up, you might have noticed that we are in the room where the furnace is kept, and there's a very good reason for that. My wife and I were in this very room at 2 a.m. the other night, fixing a very peculiar problem. You see, it all had to do with something that almost all British houses will never have to contend with, and that is the air conditioning. I can almost hear it, the sound of Uncle...
Okay, this is true, but to be honest, the fact that you guys have a room for air condition, oh boy, that already shows that American homes are quite bigger than Europeans. We don't have air condition. I mean, some homes have, but a lot of homes don't have air condition. But even if we want to put air condition, we have to put all of that stuff outside. It's actually quite different.
Toby frantically typing away, saying something like, Lawrence, when are you going to stop talking about the fact that American houses have air conditioning? That was in all caps. And it's true, I do mention this a lot because it's a big difference between British and American houses. And the truth of the matter is your air conditioning sometimes stops working. It did that just the other night when it was 75 degrees outside. All of a sudden, after sitting in the living room for about 3 hours, we realized it's a little bit toasty in here, mate. And sadly, we didn't have any beans to go with it. So we did what anybody would do in this situation and we put our hand in front of the air vents. And the air that was blowing out of them was doing so very slowly and quite warmly. Now, back when we lived in an apartment and we used to shove these in our windows, the process to stopping that was quite a lot easier. You just pull a filter out of the machine, clean it off, put it back in, and then usually it would be fine. But now we have something called central air, and figuring out the problem seemed harder. Can I put this down?
So basically, sorry, with central air you guys have to have a specific room, I'm assuming, right? This is actually quite interesting. Yeah, we don't use those here. It's a bit of a different technology that we have. We put the air condition inside and the thing that generates the air outside. I may try to put a photo right here on the screen for you guys to see how we do it. But I think the American way is quite much better because it goes to the entire house, right? Yeah, I mean, can be problematic, I guess.
Really heavy. It seemed harder because it was completely and utterly a little bit harder. Because in addition to no cold air coming out of the air vents, these pipes, which lead to that box thing in the garden, again, nominated for an award, were completely frozen over. And in fact, when we went to check on the box thing outside, the pipes were frozen there too. And it's just occurred to me that I should have filmed all of this. It would have made for a great video. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it. This is what happened. And of course, as people who'd previously rented, we never had to take care of a situation like this before. So we looked for answers on a website called google.com. And the first thing it told us to do, and I hope it was correct, was to turn off our system and check the filter. Well, after doing some more reading, we discovered that our filter was located in a box right next to the furnace. I unscrewed it, removed this door, and pulled out the filter, which looked like it hadn't been replaced since 1974. It's also patterned a little bit like an accordion, so I didn't know whether to clean it or play it. Thankfully, we had...
Okay, to be honest, I mean, this seems a bit more complex than I was expecting, because because the problem can be in multiple places, right? But in this case, it was just the filter.
Had the wherewithal to return to Lowe's and buy ourselves a handy replacement. And here's B-roll of somebody that could be me but isn't, putting a filter that looks like mine but isn't, into a box that's not far off but also not identical. Plus he's in an attic. Anyway, after doing that, we still couldn't turn on the air conditioning immediately because we still had to contend with the issue of the icy pipes. Google suggested we put towels down and put the fan on so that it would blow warm air through all of the vents. In other words, to speed up the thawing process. And it worked after about 2 hours of falling asleep in the boiler room. Listen, I might have the words "lost in the pond" on t-shirts, get yours by following the link in the description below, but that doesn't mean that I actually want to be submerged in water in my own house. But you might remember a couple of months ago, this was a genuine concern. Yeah, but this looks a bit different to how it was the other day. Oh, that's wet. Why was this? Well, my house and many others like it in the northern United States have a basement. And while conventional wisdom might tell us that my homeland of Great Britain gets more rain than any other country in the world, this simply isn't true. In fact, many American states get considerably more precipitation than Britain. This is partly down to short torrential thunderstorms, the like of which I experienced not too long ago here in Illinois. So in an effort to ensure that my basement doesn't get any more leaks, we did two things. Number one, we filled in the holes with hydraulic cement in a process, once again, that I forgot to film. So instead, here's some random B-roll of cement, and you, the viewer, have to pretend this is me filling in my holes. We could have worded...
Okay, one thing. The thing about basements is, I think they could be very practical, no doubt about that. You can put a lot of stuff there, but I never liked them that much because I always... Basically, is what Lawrence is describing. I always thought, if rains a lot, that can be very problematic on the basement. And I also had a friend, I have a friend that had a home with a basement and also had a lot of problems because of that. So, but I don't know, maybe if they are well constructed, they could be fine. I don't have experience with that, being honest, but it's always that, it's something that always has on my mind that could be problematic.
Did that better and used more accurate B-roll. We also found this discarded piece of drain pipe, which is very generously redistributing the water to another part of the ground so that it doesn't go into our house.
That's
Everybody
easy.
thank the discarded piece of drain pipe in the comments, make it feel good, because eventually we are going to get rid of it and have a more permanent solution. And permanent solutions are good because there was once a time during my American life that I didn't have wide access to the single most important British resource: television. But this all changed one bright Monday morning when I sat down with a cup of tea and binge-watched classic Doctor Who on BritBox. And once I was done with that, I remembered I could just feast my eyes on hundreds of other programmes, the latest being Season 2 of The Tower, a serious and truly gripping four-part
My friends, I don't skip the sponsor since I'm reacting, but you guys can skip it.
detective series. Because even so-called comedians need occasional dramatic relief, alright? Anyway, it's very, very good, and it follows on from the events of Season 1, which you can also watch on BritBox. In addition to this, you can stream your other favourite British shows via your smartphone, tablet, desktop, Chromecast, Apple TV or Roku device, as well as LG and Samsung smart TVs. Head to BritBox.com/LostInThePond and use the promo code LOSTINTHEPOND when signing up for a monthly subscription, and you'll get 50% off your first month. The link is also in my description below. Perhaps one of the biggest challenges of living in your own American house can be viewed from here, nature's cinema, otherwise known as the mudroom. Because it should be noted that it's not just humans that cause problems. Listen, I'm the biggest animal lover there is, right? My puppy is my best friend, and my cat is my second best friend. But sometimes there are members of the animal kingdom that are absolute Existing subscribers will remember back in the winter when my garage was commandeered by squirrels who thought it would be a great idea to turn the wooden beam.
Oh my god, that's actually so amazing. Squirrels? I love America. Oh man, they are so cute. Oh, but that they can be problematic, probably, right? Okay, okay.
Into a sandwich. Thankfully, they were taken care of, but then guess what happened? At the start of spring, we had a swarm of bees in there, and when I say swarm,
Okay, that's quite less cute.
I mean like 4 of them, but still, you don't want bees in your garage, because when you put a bee in garage, what have you got? Garbage. Thankfully they've gone too, but the same could not be said for the evil bunny rabbits, who insisted on chewing not only our grass, but devouring the daffodils. That could have been...
Oh, but that's okay. Actually, that's very fascinating. Here where I live, I mean, nature is it's a city, to be honest, so I don't deal with this type of stuff at all. But I find it really fascinating that Lawrence actually, I'm not making fun of him, but it's fascinating.
Been the dog. I didn't see it, but I had noticed the rabbits hovering around them prior to the event, so I'm going to blame them. And then there's our dustbins, known here as garbage cans or trash cans. Unfortunately, there's one member of the animal kingdom that you find in America and not in Britain that doesn't give 2 hoots what you call it, and that animal is the raccoon, because they tip your bins over and run away with...
My friends, the raccoon is really cute. Cute, not good. Cute. But this guy is annoying, right? Because I also see other stuff, even in movies, that people go mad with them. But I never saw one, by the way. It's kind of cute.
Banana skins and laugh to themselves. Ha ha ha! The wind did it! And finally, though I haven't seen one myself, I've been warned recently by neighbours that coyotes frequent the alleyway at night. And I don't know if they're going to go through stuff or destroy my yard or haunt me in my dreams, but I just know that...
Wait, I'm sorry, I will run that one back about coyotes, but the thing with the raccoons is, do you guys have this... Okay, put me thing this way. Okay, my friends, it's quite weird that this could be a nightmare in America since the animal looks so cute. But I have a question. Do you guys have raccoons in all states? Or is this specific for the Midwest region? I wonder about that. But this little guy can be really annoying. Even though, like I said, he's quite cute.
Haha, the wind did it! And finally, though I haven't seen one myself, I've been warned recently by neighbours that coyotes frequent the alleyway at night. And I don't know if they're going to go through stuff or destroy my yard or haunt me in my dreams, but I just know they're out there, waiting. We don't have coyotes in Britain. In fact, the only one that made it over there was a cartoon that used to fall off cliffs. But this is very real, so keep watching my channel for future clickbait
That's
videos
quite more
on the
dangerous,
subject.
right?
Over the last few weeks and months, ever since I moved into my first American house, one of the biggest questions that I've had is, Lawrence, is your home part of an HOA? And the answer to that question is no. We didn't want any part of that noise. And my British viewers, much like me when I first started hearing all about this, might be thinking, what's a homeowner association? Because here's the thing, in Britain, to find the equivalent of a homeowner association is rare. So what is it? What does it do? Well, if you...
Okay, let me take a guess. Maybe some type of insurance? But, no, but that you guys call it insurance, probably.
You move into a house that is a part of the HOA, you then become a member of it. And that means that you have to adhere to rules. And depending on state and local laws, these can vary from what colour you paint your house, how many plants you put in your garden, to the types of yard signs you have. And to me, specifically as a British person, one of the more peculiar bans is this. After I left Britain...
Wait, but what are the benefits?
For our life in the United States, it quickly became apparent that America did things differently. This was evidenced by people's vocabulary, food items, and the seeming absence of one thing in particular: clotheslines. Back in Britain, clotheslines or washing lines are a popular mainstay of the drying process, with people unabashed about airing their clean laundry in public. American yards, however, are more often than not free of clotheslines, with the exception of that time my wife's cousin Chad misjudged the vibe of our cookout by dressing up as John Cena. One reason for this is HOAs. Because in some communities in America, there exists an outright ban by HOAs on the use of outdoor clotheslines. Their reasoning is often that they obscure the view for fellow residents, but what are they trying to look at? Because if it isn't my matching Abraham Lincoln socks, there's something truly wrong with them. But in recent years...
Oh, wow. No idea about this, my friends.
Years, 20 states, including Illinois, have passed so-called right-to-dry laws, banning HOAs from doing this, their reasoning being that citizens have the right to utilize solar power. Still, that means there are 30 states where outdoor clotheslines can still be banned, meaning that millions of Americans will never know the joy as I once
Well, my friend, sorry for pausing again, but here you see this everywhere. Everywhere, basically.
did of hearing their underpants flap in the wind. And so, as a freedom-loving British American, I love not being part of an HOA. It's just that somebody needs to tell Suburban Sue, because the post-it notes are getting a bit much. And that's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments
Actually,
below
I'm
if you
learning a
have
lot.
an American house, and what bother it's been giving you. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at Lost in the Pond US, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that I don't have to. Continue your Lost in the Pond binge by watching this video next.
Okay, to be honest, I already watched that video. It was quite amazing, I have to be honest. Well, friends, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Really means a lot that you guys end up, staying until the end. But yeah, this was quite fascinating. I mean, Lawrence has a great way to explain this type of stuff. His humor is impeccable. But yeah, do not forget to leave a like. See you guys in the next one. Bye.